My Gavanan Melonin, and well met indeed. I'm Arakir Galadurthan, head of the modern team, behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the same as we continue on as the Anduin. Things are looking up, kind of, sort of. Many of you pointed out in the last episode, which was very useful, thank you for that, that in Austin Guile, we lost quite a lot of people in the assault through killing our own men. And in fact, someone mentioned that the attack, actually, we killed more of our own men than the enemy killed of our men. So our archers' accuracy is leaving a little to be desired. Also, someone suggested on Dane's halls, which I think is something I will do, is we'll give it one more turn, and then what we will do is attack the settlement, or I'll save the game before we attack the settlement, then I will attack it purely to show you the settlement, but then we'll load back up and let it just actually get captured through the normal method, because I really need to capture Dane's halls without losing any of those troops, and they've left it now way too late. They're definitely not going to rise up because they know they can't win, which is why they haven't risen up yet. The AI knows it can't beat you, so it waits in the hope that it can get more troops to you, and then it ends up not doing that, so it just keeps waiting. So we will let them go another turn, and then I'll save it. I'll attack it so that you can all see what the settlement looks like, and then we'll fight a battle that has no weight to it. But I mean, if we manage to take it with very minimal losses, then maybe we'll let that one stand. But I'm pointing out and highlighting the fact that it's not save scumming. It is just purely to show you what the settlement looks like. I have no intention of attacking that settlement in the real game. But Alj will hopefully fall to the forces of Dale and the Wood Elves over here. But for now, let's end the turn and get it ticking along. I don't think anyone can move. No. Speaking of the Wood Elves, of course, that is the next DLC for Warhammer 3, The Twisted and Twilight, as I'm sure you are all very well aware. And were my channel actually bigger and better in relation to Total War, I'm sure I probably would have done them on the channel. I'm in two minds about whether or not I still might bother doing that, because I'll probably buy the DLC. And I've never played as the Wood Elves, so that would be rather interesting. But I'm in two minds as to whether I will bother doing that for you all, or whether I will just play it myself. Right, here we go. Lord Britta, who is now our faction leader of... Dear. This unnamed adopted general is now our faction leader. And he is being attacked by Nagmos. Now, Nagmos is not going to do anything at all because he's got very few ranged options, and we have an army of archers. No range javelins, no range javelins, no range. So we've got 2 javelin units to focus fire. We will take them down, take them out. The UI competition, the final point to mention on that is that Forthe Alengas has now also said who he wants to be a part of. And he would like to be an elf of the Woodland Realm. Which, if I remember rightly, actually, now I've said that, I think I might have thought of someone else, but no, it's definitely, I think, an elf of the Woodland Realm, because he's chosen a few Sindarin names. So there you go, the 3 UI competition people will all be in the game, 1 for Lothlorien, 1 for the Woodland Realm, and 1 for the Anduin. So do keep an eye out for them when you play version 5, whenever version 5 releases. Right, archers, stand ye ready. Melee forces. Oh, look, our faction leader, let's kill him off early doors. Let's get them behind. And cavalry ready to assist on the flanks. Don't run away. Start the battle. Now, they attacked us, so they've got to come towards us. And if our archers, feel free to fire us straight away. Ideally, I want to hit the javelin troops, but I don't think we'll have the luxury of choice, to be honest. Oh, it is good to take the watch off. Oh, righty ho ho ho. Let's have a look-e-poos. Once Dulgeldor is dealt with, we can then finally turn our attention to Angmar proper, and the onslaught into the north can begin. Until that time, we are forced to fight against these savages under the forest eaves. Are you attacking the Orc Hunters? Yes, you are. Smashing. And once those Goblin Stalkers come in range, I want those to be targeted, please. Any second now, any second now, any... There it is. Right, you also hit the Goblin Stalkers because you're going to go for the Hunters as well. Gleerwine, I trust you're firing. No, not yet. That's okay. Fire when ready, sir. Fire when ready. Gleerwine really should be our faction leader. He has far greater claim to it than the random adopted general that currently sits in the post. Very disappointing indeed. Right, melee forces. One of you is hidden, but let's start our movement down the hill. And archers. Let's pause it because we've got to go through all 4 of them and it's very annoying. You're all going to change your targets to the units at the back. Javelin forces, you're going to charge head on into those Orc Maulers and you're going to hit the Dulgeldor host. They will capture the javelins in the crossfire of the charge and hopefully take them out. Let us see. Let us wait, watch and hope. The cavalry comes thundering down the hill. Sheathing through the Goblin Stalkers. They've hit quite a few on the sides there. There's also been a lot of losses. Oh, I don't know though. 36% of the enemy has already gone down. 38%. Right, let's capitalise on this, please. And get yourselves down there before the javelins can get any actual firing off. Those Orc fighters are getting shredded by our range, which is good. Right, now that they're around the sides, let's move the javelin force forward. Throw all your javelins. You guys can just fire at whatever you can shoot. You guys go for the Dulgeldor host. Let's pull Gleowine down the back. The Orcs of Dulgeldor trampled underfoot as ever. I do not think the enemy will live long. They don't have a general either. I mean, we were always going to win, but if we can really keep these losses down, that'd be a dream. Go for the Orc Hunters, and if you would turn around and come back. Oh, actually, why don't you try and double team them? Might get a breaking then. Yes, there it is.
It's time to press the
ceasefire, ceasefire. 99%. Call it there. 45 men died. 45.
Remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
And interestingly, once again, 15 of the 45, a full third of those that died here today were killed by our own units. Which is never that great, but it is what it is. This is war, man. And in times of war, mistakes are made. People die. And sadness is certainly the order of the day. But ultimately, we will emerge victorious, and then our people will rejoice, and happiness will flood back into the Vale. As soon as we can take down Gundabad, our safety is assured. Angmar will absolutely wither beneath the strong arm of the Anduin when we have Gundabad and Dulgeldor under our thumbs. Although, of course, we need to do that relatively swiftly because we are hemorrhaging money. Ah, dear. It's not a Galu campaign if we're not losing money hand over fist. Right, a faction announcement. Run has joined the family. He's actually just called Run. And Alaric has gained a few things. Oh, he's got the Bjorning Air trait. Or the Bjorning Air... Where did we put Alaric? Is he in Dwindberg? Yes, he is. Bugger. Because I would very much like Gleowine to get the faction air trait. Right, here we are then. Let's do what we're going to do for this turn, which is just move Britta down to the castle and besiege it. Force our enemy towns. Dorlingvar, that's what it's called, yes.
We shall prevail.
And within Zaglag, they do have a general. They've got Mirkwood Uruks, and they've got Uruk Slayers. So 2 late-game Mirkwood units, and then a captain outside who's not going to do anything. But Snagog will come over and support them, almost certainly. And yes, Beral's just finally fallen, this time to the Woodland Realm. And as also many of you have suggested, where is our old diplomat? We're going to sell Erun Runen to the elves, which will give us A, a lump sum, and B, an alliance. So what we're going to do, because we don't really care if the elves have it or not, is we're going to destroy the buildings. Move the army out to Enethauer. And then do it. Right, so alliance, map information, make offer. I will give you Erun Runen, because I don't really want it. That was another thing many of you suggested. You have a modest amount of money. And I think 10,000 for this wouldn't come amiss. Yes!
I accept this one.
Fantastic.
Farewell.
Right, that just slightly takes us out of the black, out of the red, sorry, and into the black, and we make just a tiny amount of money, about 60 gold coins. Do we actually need to keep that unit alive? You have an upkeep of 68, and you have an upkeep of 148. So if we put them into there, we can then send the archers somewhere where they can be free. Possibly Leothold? No, probably not. Right, while we're attacking Dulgeldor, let's pull the scout down to Dulgeldor finally. And then leave Radagast. We don't need to worry about Brown Boat because we can see it. But Radagast, if you head off into the eastern side here and just double check that Marches of the Northmen... Oh, that's Marches of the Northmen. What's south of Marches of the Northmen? Check that and
yes, my lord.
Make sure that's not held by Dulgeldor.
Tomorrow.
Right, so that's the south taken care of. We have nothing at the moment in answer to Angmar. Obviously, we've got forces here that are training under the money that we just made. But we could do with a general. Oh, we can get all of those. Ah, so the archers, yes. So the Vale archers there and there can both move out, can't they? So let's do that now. Get you going. It's not going to rebel in a single turn, so we don't have to worry about that. So you're going to come over here to Bjorn's Halls. So are the Vale archers when the time strikes, and then we'll form an alignment that's going to take out Goblin Town. Remember, we are, whatever happens, either going to take it right now or we're going to take it at the end of the turn. And that's Dane's Halls, of course. But we finally got that alliance with the Woodland Realm. And we finally got map info. That's always nice to see. Brown Boat, I know, has almost no guardians. Like Gleerwine could pop over and take that in a heartbeat. Oh, we have got that army there. Captain Malhur.
I'm gonna stick you.
He doesn't really have very much, but he hasn't attacked us yet. We'll see. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's doubly do it. We'll give it a save. Anduin, save a game. And we'll hit them. We've only got 3 battering rams, but I don't think that'll matter. King Bull's Mug. He got 3 units of Orc defenders. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I don't need to save it. We just saved it. I can't see how we would take this battle without taking a lot of losses, and we just can't afford that. So I may just show you around the battle map and then instantly quit, to be honest, rather than waste your time with me fighting this. Because there's just no way of fighting this without losing a ton of forces. So if we take all of that out of the game, you can see that this is Dane's Halls. This is one of the best dwarven settlements in the mod, I think. So you've got this outer wall here that you will note is actually within the defender's realm. So if you're defending Dane's Halls, you can put archers on this wall. And this tower will shoot at the enemy for you. Likewise on the other side as well over there. The exit and entrance to that wall, I believe, you go through there, and I think it brings you out on the stairs. Or it may bring you out actually within the settlement. I'm not entirely sure where that brings you out, actually. It's a rather... it's a sort of later added feature. But as you can see, once you actually break through the gate, we'll deal with breaking through the gate in a moment, but the settlement itself is very, very basic. So it's not one of the dwarven settlements where you have to slog it out for 20 to 30 minutes just grinding through tight, narrow corridors. There's none of that. Instead, you just have the square in this large chamber, and that is it. But, as I've already mentioned, getting to the gate in Dane's Halls is a right pain in the patella, because the walls here can be defended, then there's these 2 steep slopes outside, which the enemy can at least rush to. In previous iterations, the enemy's deployment zone did include all the way up to the end there, so they could defend this section, they could defend the stairs, and then they could defend this set of stairs. But the AI really, really could not handle that deployment zone, and they totally wigged out, and they basically did nothing. So instead, the walls are just about in the deployment, so you can start on those, but you'll have to move troops out of the gate in order to defend this ramp, which is one of the best points to defend in the battle map, as already mentioned. If we start the battle, I wonder if they do start anyone out here. No, they haven't gone for that. I don't think the AI really knows that they can use those walls because it's such an irregular shaped deployment zone. So instead, their entire army is here with inside. So, I mean, for our purposes, because they're not going to come out and defend on the slopes, Dane's Halls is a much better settlement if you're defending it. It's not very good when the AI defend it. Because all we would now do is bring us battering ram up, walk all the way up here, which would be long, slow and dull, and then break through the gate, and then form a line, put all the archers behind, and just wait till we've shot them all down. And we're just not going to do that. I am just going to quit and call it there. But this is what the battle map actually looks like. And you will note, if I'm jumping out all the back here, that the back of the map has absolutely no extra features. And if memory serves, the spawning zones have been set up in such a way that if you attack Dane's Halls from behind, it actually puts you in front. So where our army currently is, there is no rear deployment zone because there's no back way into the mountain, which some may see as a little law breaking, because how do you get through the mountain without actually going through Dane's halls? But the way the battle map is set up, there is just no behind to it. But anyway, there we are. That is Dane's halls. Now we will actually just go back and end the turn. Alrighty. Fortunately for us, Dulgeldor attacked us at Dwindberg, so we do get to defend. Now Malheur has a relatively good army, but we've got 2 units of archers, and we've now got Alaric the Goth, so our defence will be quite easy, I think, which is helpful. We will continue to break them here at Dwindberg, although of course Dwindberg won't be as good as Framsberg as a battle map, but it will still, I'm sure it is still relatively useful. We have a hill, don't we? Yes, just behind here. Right, so archers. Oh yes, of course, we fought here a moment ago, didn't we, in the last one? We want them on that side and them on this side. We need to keep Alaric alive. You're about to hear the cat meowing, I'm afraid. She's just come in. Crying away. Don't listen to her lies. She's only crying because her dinner is in about 35 minutes. And she's taken to just meowing for it straight away. And she knows full well that she's not getting her dinner for another 35 minutes. And even then, we've brought it forward by an hour out of the good graces of our heart. She used to get it later, but she meowed too much. So we caved. But we're not caving this time. Although she's actually just sitting on the floor at the moment looking at me. And if I tempt fate, she'll definitely start meowing. She's glaring right at me. Oh dear. Right, our archers can pepper the units outside the walls if they can reach this time. I don't think it'll matter too much. As long as they don't do arcing shots and they don't do nice straight lines. And then if we can just kill them, let's just kill them. The enemy archers are something we do want to try and target if we can, though, actually. But generally, I think it's just... Today we just need to make sure that every arrow is fired, is loosed. We can't really afford to not kill as many as possible before the hammer falls, because we just don't have the melee forces. The skin changers will do very well, but remember there are still only about 40 odd of them. They do get outnumbered, even though they can't be stun locked anymore. So they do still suffer. Right, let's speed her up. Although you can stop now because you're now basically doing nothing. Alright, and we're under fire now. But they're doing rubbish shots as well. Come on, break through the gate, you bastards. Move slightly further forward so their arrows can't hit you as well.
Blast their eyes! The enemy's ram is through our gates.
Alright. Hold your ground. Hold your ground, or it'll take the maulers when they come through the gate. Can you get at least one volley off into them?
No longer ours.
Hold your ground.
We have taken them.
Come on, give us at least one volley before they hit our melee line. Fantastic. Fantastic. Right, new focus, hit the archers. The archers will try and stay out of melee, so they will probably just stop around here, which means if we shoot at them... Oh no, that's a complete lie. The archers are just gunning for the square. What are we on? 26% of the enemy has died. The towers will keep firing away. Oh, that's what we wanted, Orc Maulers. Yes, please stand in a tight circle. That is a dream.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Go on, keep pounding away at them. 60%, 64. The archers are going to win the day. The warriors haven't even gotten involved yet. Push forward. Don't let Alaric die. Oh yeah, this is one. This has been a fantastic victory. Yes! And the enemy generals died. 40 men died.
This is a
159.
worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
The skin changers took 131 down. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Oh, Alaric, how I love thee. We need to make sure that Alaric leads the assault on Dulgeldor so that we can just tap into some of his ingenuity and might in the sacking of Rome. If we can just tap into even a tenth of that, we'll be able to take Dulgeldor down no trouble. What is Dulgeldor compared to the might of the centre of civilization on Earth for many, many years? Nothing. It is nothing. Alright, and here we are, as expected as well. The rats are desperate to claw back at the hand that snatches them from the barrel within which they sit, ripe to be shot at. Dulgeldor archers, Uruk slayers, Dulgeldor scouts, Mirkwood Uruks, Warg marauders, and Zaglag has 2 of those as well. Uruk slayers and Mirkwood Uruks. He himself, of course, just a standard general. I think we'll be alright. We won't then be fighting on the battle map, of course, and our archers will, of course, once again be very important. We want to try and not get surrounded, though, even though we are outnumbered quite heavily. And those 4 units of Uruks are going to be a bit of a problem because we just don't have any melee forces. Right, we're being attacked from front and behind, so let's retreat to... Oh, if you press the shift key, it speeds the camera. So that's the camera moving forward on its own with the W key. That's it with the F key, and then that is it with F, shift, and forwards. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Playing all this time, never knew that. Right, we are going to run to the corner like a cowardly coward, and we're going to stand up there. I apologise in advance for my cowardice.
The enemy have brought up more men.
More men! I'm sure the enemy will bring many men before the day is out. And we will have to rebut them all. You go and stand down there. I think that'll do. We are using the noob corner, I'm afraid. I'm terribly sorry. But it needs to be done. Right, you guys come and stand there. Sons of Bayon! And Britta, you're going to have to be in our line, I'm afraid. Good luck to you, and good luck to all involved today. Gleerwine, could you go and give Shag... Oh no, he's miles away. Don't worry about him. Let's go and get you two to use your ranged opportunities long before we actually have to use you as cavalry. They have got some wargs which will try and stop our cavalry, I think. Like they're already shaping up to come over. But if we can just keep peppering the enemy. Don't let those scouts get near to you because they're going to throw javelins at you. I can't tell him who to attack when he's running is the only annoying thing. So if I tell him to attack those Warg Marauders, he will stop to try and shoot them. But then if I move him away, that will then override his last order, and he will then flee and attack whatever he wants again. So we can't guarantee who he's going to shoot at. I really want those Uruk Slayers brought down, though. And don't tell me you're wasting it on the scouts. You probably are, aren't you? Idiot. Ah! Idiot! Let's try and get him to go around the right-hand side, and then he might target something on that side. You guys, I just kind of want you to come at the back. Give me a volley right into the heart of that Mirkwood Uruk battalion. Don't waste them on the Dulgeldor archers. They really don't like Gleerwine, but they aren't committing to charging at him just yet. Oh, there they go, there they go, there they go, there they go, there they go. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away! Run! Like, sprint, you slow bastards. Oh, they've used all their javelins already. Oh, interesting. Gleerwine, run up there. If you can hit the wargs, I will take that. Right, you guys just sod it, charge into the archers. You're only going to get shot to death if you don't now. We've killed 12% of them. I think that's not too bad as a payoff for losing half of our cavalry battalion. And with any luck, they'll take some archers out before they go down. They're a very high rank. 8 experience they have. But they will die to arrow fire very easily. So let's just try and get them to head back now. Pull everybody back. Including Gleerwine. Right, we'll go to time 6. And move off. We've used almost all of his arrows. That's plenty. Oh, no, he can still shoot the wargs. We're still gunning him down. I'll get the cavalry to come over here, and Gleerwine, you come over here. No. Well, Gleerwine, just stay out the front because you're going to be charging into the back of someone. There we are, that's the wargs essentially nullified as a threat, which is good. Alright, let's go to time 6 and let our enemy decide what its plan here is. We won't run at them now because we'll just take losses in the from the ranged fire. I assume they're waiting for that battalion to come to them. For some reason they're not running, slowly walking out of the woods. Oh dear, so much is going to depend on our archers. We are going to be asking an awful lot of them today. The archers and the cavalry. Right, you don't need to be as wide, so let's pull you down. In fact, I think you could probably actually just form a line now. Let's pull you a bit closer to the archers, though. Make sure the archers are on defensive mode, which they all are. Form up. There we are. Right, the cavalry's ready to come in and assist. The archers have begun firing. I'm not sure their archers are the best target, really. Mirkwood bodyguards. That would be wonderful if you could bring those down. Oh, you two on the right actually go for those Uruks. Don't worry about their archers. The cavalry will deal with their archers once the melee forces have committed. Oh, and look, by just having our cavalry in the back, we are forcing them to really think twice about where they want to put their forces. And scouts are running away instantly. And the Mirkwood bodyguards have been reduced down to 26. Right, let's try and hit into this back line. What do Mirkwood Orcs have? Oh, spear and shield, bugger. Gleerwine's just charged headlong into that. Gleerwine, get your men out of there! Please! Did Gleerwine get out? Oh, yes, he did. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, there he is. All right, Gleerwine, run up that side. Nip yourself along there. He lost another man. That's fine. The cavalry made it out, but they're being chased by the wargs. Right, let's shut the warg threat down. That new target. Oh, not the Mirkwood bodyguard, surely. He is fleeing. It doesn't matter too much. Oh, no, he definitely needs to die, actually. Oh, bugger, he's going to get away. He's going to get away. Our cavalry is nowhere near is never going to be able to get over here and help. If we can snap him up.
Good defeat seems almost certain. The enemy general abandons his men.
Captain Snagog has gone.
Swinging in our favor. From such time, the enemy are badly blooded.
Charge into the back there.
They have lost half their men.
Look at that battalion in the middle. Mirkwood Uruks and Uruk Slayers. There I was worrying about them. And they have fallen like kindling.
Our men have captured the enemy general. Guard him well and make it so he can see us defeat the rest of his army. The battle is very much in our
Yes!
favor.
We caught the general.
Alright,
Alright, yeah, this is over. This is well and truly over. We've got Uruk Slayers here who are about to run. Give them a full volley. Look at that. That's just depressingly strong.
It's time to press the attack.
Right, target whoever you want. Although ideally target that Uruk Slayer unit over there. Because we're going to capture those Uruk Slayers there. I don't really want you killing our own men. You can get them. Cease, 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 cease. Run them over there, just get them to stop doing things. 95%, that's pretty good. They've all made it out, and there's only a small unit left. Yeah, we just quit. Oh!
Let all who remember this day remember it
Yes.
as the day of our most glorious victory.
Now, Lord Britter, our faction leader, only took 5 people down. Gleerwine, 198, but pipped to the post by Woodman Hunters with 210 kills on their belt. And then slightly behind Gleerwine was another unit of Woodman Hunters. The Vale Archers getting 143 and 139. So it's interesting that the two, in almost perfect test conditions, with both units standing next to each other, so both sort of the same distance from the enemy, targeting similar enemies. The Vale Archers have got very similar kills, and the Woodman Hunters have got very similar kills. That's very interesting indeed. Oh, apologies if you have arachnophobia. You know, fun story. Every single time I watched Lord of the Rings, when The Return of the King was out in the cinemas, my nan was still alive, and we went to see it with her. and she had read the books, so she knew what was coming. And every time Shelob appeared on the screen, she would get out her hanky that she used to have up her sleeve, and she'd cover her eyes, and she was sitting next to me, and she used to grip my arm. She'd be like, "Oh, Ed, tell me when it's over." It's the little things like that you always remember. Kill them all. Kill them all. Here's a sentimental moment about my grandmother. And then murder them all. We'll wipe out the population as well.
Courage and honor have conquered.
Personally, I never found Shelob to be all that freaky. I'm not one for spiders. I'm not overly fond of them. I'm not terrified of them either. But not overly fond of them. But I found that because Shelob was so obviously CGI, it just didn't really do anything. It didn't really freak me out. But in a last-ditch attempt, they are going to try and defend Dane's halls. But remember, we won't actually fight on the battle map here. We will be outside of it. But they've lost their 3 supporting units. But we have got a fairly hefty army under, what's your name, sorry? Thruknaz. But do note that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 archer units, 2 ranged cavalry units, although they're both javelins. 7 archer units. And then we've got a horde of nothing in this army, apart from our archers, which don't really count because our archers are really good. Nothing in the army is militia. So we've got woodman warriors, Bjorning axemen, Bjorning spearmen. This is going to be a wonderful battle. His army isn't actually very good either. There's the best unit in this entire army are the Orc Avengers. And there's only 19 of them, so they're not going to do out. So let's fight this battle, take Dane's halls for ourselves, and then finally move in and cleanse Gundabad's heartlands. Hopefully, the dwarves are pestering Erebor, and thus the Last Stand army will be whittled down, or frittered away and whittled down by the dwarves. That is our hope. We're not allied to the dwarves, but maybe if they're willing to offer me an obscene amount of money, I will sell Dane's halls to them. Now, we are being attacked, and they are going to be coming from in front and behind, and we have 2 options. Option A is this slope up here, where we can try... Now, if we put our army on this ridge would have been absolutely fantastic were it not in the middle of the battle map, because they can just start here and come round it, so that means basically nothing. But we could pull back to this sort of low, deeping gap here, which at the minute I think is my favoured position. Put the archers up there on that line and fight there. Or alternatively, of course, we can go to the other side of the valley. But there's nothing really here. So we're going to go up here instead. We could, rather than going in that dell, we could go up here. And then the reinforcing army has to come round the side. Yes, I think we have our winner. We're going to go on that hill just there. So for now, just stand everyone in front of it and we'll worry about placement.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
Right, yep, there's the army from the castle, which we don't really have to worry about. And there's the main army, which will be a bit better. If we can, we will take the best archer units, put them as high up as possible so that we maximise and really capitalise on their range. It's easier, I think, to set troops up looking up the hill so you can actually see where the hill's lines are. So I think if you go there, and then the other archers, the Vale archers, you guys go in front there. Yeah, that will work. And then we've got a lot of very aggressive melee forces here today. Oh, let's group you up first of all. You guys are going to go there like that. And then we'll take you 3. The other oh no, I've accidentally grouped you. No, you 3 and group you together. And you're going to go on the left-hand side, covering from the cliff face across. There we go, that's perfect. And you can have a unit of skin changers behind each of you. That's no trouble. And you can just go in the middle as well, I think, actually. And right, cavalry, we'll try and go and annoy someone with you. Try and get some javelins thrown off before the enemy gets near us. I think it's probably best to choose this army to go and throw javelins at, because they've got a few bigger battalions. So let's do it. Feel free to fire at will, archers. As soon as you can hit a thing, start shooting at it. Oh, look, they are bringing some units over. Snow Orc scouts. Oh, you have Snow Orc scout archers, do you? Oh, here you go. Here's a load of javelins. That was probably actually really... Oh, we only lost about 4. My plan actually is, let's just run into them. Why would we wait and throw javelins if they're going to hold their archers back? Let's just take their archers out. And that they have done very nicely. And the enemy's panicking and bringing someone back to try and stop what's already happened. They are too late. It is inevitable. That is such a wonderful hill. Fastrid, how are you doing?
Like this, we will smash the enemy.
Fastrid, of course, is far and away the best unit probably on the field today, other than the Orc Avengers. And in your versions of version 5, as you'll see in the developer diary this weekend, I think it probably will be this weekend, Fastrid actually has his own unique battle map model now, so he no longer looks like a skin changer, which was a much needed change for him. Pull out, don't just die needlessly, particularly against spears. If you have any javelins left, feel free to throw them. Otherwise, let's get you up here ready to do some cycle charging. 21% of the enemy has died, 1% of us have died, which is either a combination of our cavalry and some of our units being shot in the back. Although the enemy is shooting them as well. What have you got to offer? Snow Orc Scouts. There's the Mountain Guard. And there's the Avengers. I really like the Avenger model. It doesn't obviously have any uniformity, but I really like the ragtag dwarven scavenged army. So these fellows over here have got dwarven plate mail on. A couple of them have dwarven helmets on. Some of them have dwarven shields on their backs. It's just, I really like that kind of unit. It helps give Gundabad so much more flavour as a faction. So much more character and personality. Alright, let's charge the cavalry in. I don't really want you to go head on into them, actually, so you go and just take out those scouts over there. I don't think this archer unit's actually in the best place, unfortunately, because of the dell. They've ended up being in a bit of a crap position. But it is actually very tricky to get hills to work in Medieval 2. Archers just don't use them as well as you'd want them to. Right, but as soon as you've charged in, just pull out again.
Very much in our favor. Victory will be
oh, if the enemy's just going to chase you guys down, then just let them. Just head over there and just let them. That'll give our archers even more time to fire out into that. I'm thinking it might be an idea, though, to actually just line our archers up like that.
Only half the enemy force remains.
And then start firing away at stuff. Ah, they've abandoned the chase onto the cavalry, so we can ping the cavalry back. The front line is held. Most things are running or routing or dying. A little bit of everything. The mountain guard, they look like they're going to try and come around the side, which we cannot allow. So we'll try and pull that lot back. They are going to come around the side. Oh, jammy bastards. Right, Vale Archers, stand yourselves ready. But don't worry, reinforcements have arrived.
They have lost half their men.
The cavalry was trying to arrive, but has failed in its task quite significantly. So you guys go back into those Snow Orc spears. As Bjorning spearmen and Snow Orc spears meet in the field. Here in the mountains, the grey mountains of all the mountains, outside of Dane's halls. Charge into those. Flank again, or pull out again. They're really not charging very well, are they?
The enemy general lies dead. Let the crows have his miserable.
Ah, what a sad day. King Bolsmug, long have for some time now have his ancestors lain dead. Now Bolsmug falls as well. Oh, and Thruknaz has gone down as well, and only very little still fights on. Some mountain guard over there that are shaken and chasing us. And it's over. Just end it. 383. Gundabad are so much better than Dulgeldor. If Gundabad got their act together, they would be such a threat. If they had attacked me with that last stand army, we would just be sitting here with an army outside Bjorn's halls, praying that we find some way of defeating it. So close to death. But as it stands, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know the difference between left and right, and they've just done a terrible, terrible thing and assured their demise. The two Aethade horsemen, Aethade both getting the top kills, 117, 115. Second place, 102, Bjorning Axeman. Our archers actually did pretty poorly, so that did go to show that, unfortunately, despite being on that nice hill, the archers just did basically nothing. But, whilst a large part of that is my poor placement of the archers, another part of that is the fact that Gundabad are actually a very good anti-archer nation, and a lot of their units have shields, which are one of the biggest anti-archer bonuses, and some of their units, although they're not actually an armor civilization, so it's almost a little antithetical that they have good anti-archer, but it comes primarily from their shields. They have a lot of good shielded units. So we lost 383. Now I'm interested to learn how many would we have lost if I actually just assaulted the town. One wonders if perhaps it would have been better to have actually just taken them. Oh yeah, I'll take a Hunter's Guild there. Alaric takes on a son. Treomod. No, I don't really want another one at the moment. The Wood Elves flourish. There's rioting in Enethauer. No surprises, they don't have anyone in them. There you go, now you like me more. And we should make money now. Obscene amounts of money. Look at that. In one turn we flipped it and we go from losing money to making money. It's as easy as that. I tell you what, if you train 2 new units, I'll take those as well. Right, so we can build an army to take back Goblin Town now. Oh, a new spearman can head back to Dwindberg and retrain. You're all retraining, aren't you? Yeah. And we're training some archers as well. Yeah, that's fantastic. And I'll take all of that. Dorlingvar is ours. We will not be holding on to the practice range because we can't use it. And the barracks because we can't use it. The brawler's pit because we can't use it. We'll keep the other stuff. Retrain what you have got. We'll never be able to train anything in there for a long time. It'll be of no use to us. I don't think we should put any money into Dorlingvar either because we might not hold it for very long. But somewhere like Enethauer, it'd be good if you could build your apiary. It's annoying that you can't. Where's the... Can you not get the Builders Hall, or am I just not looking at it? Oh, no, look, there it is. Yeah, perfect. I could build that, and it would drop it by 15%, the cost of the apiary, which is, what, 190... 950... 95 around. It's just shy of 300, isn't it? Yes, of course. Because that's only 100 away from 2,000, and 15% of 2,000 is 300. Right, yeah, so it's just shy of 300 we would save, but we'd pay 900 to do it. But I mean, then you've only got to build about 3 buildings, and that thing has paid for itself. But surely there's somewhere more fitting, more worthwhile of having... we could get communal farming, improve a better market. I think a good market's probably a good shout, actually. So we'll take a market there. We make 2,500 now. That's insane. Right, Radagast, let's go and have a look. Ah, yes, look, Leofric's Bowing is... Some people don't like the name Leofric's Bowing because, of course, the Nazgul, and indeed the stories that we've given them in Divide and Conquer, all of those stories took place ages ago, Second Age, so over 3,000 odd years ago, and would somewhere in the game still be called something that happened 3,000 years ago. And I understand that point, and I take it on board. But equally, it helps tie in features of the game. It helps just put a little bow on features of the game. And so whilst many of you would lament the fact that a region is still bearing the same name some 3,500 years later, the flip side, though, is that this region doesn't have any name at all. Look at any map of Middle-earth and you've got to make up the names of these regions because there's only so many times you can use the word Rovanian or Wilderland before you run out of region names. And so I think for the sake of one region to help tie in a Nazgul story, I think it's perfectly worth it. And very, very worth it, rather. I should have kept someone on Erebor, actually. We have no idea if someone's coming. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, is I'm going to leave behind a general, very unlike me. We're going to leave a general behind, and we'll also leave behind that 76 spearman. And the rest of you will hop to it.
Yes, my lord.
On the northern side. Oh, where we meet more Snow Orc armies coming fresh out of Gundabad. Yeah, we've given them too long. Much too long. Oh, we could get Sons of the Fallen. Oh, look, there's their factionaire. Oh, interesting. So one wonders if perhaps if we'd killed him... No, because he's only the factionaire, so someone replaced the leader. Captain Zugthak has come for Framsburg. You're not going to get anywhere, mate. But otherwise, that's going to end this episode. And as I say, I think this will be the last one this week because I'll do a developer diary at the weekend. So, but I'm thoroughly enjoying playing as the Anduin. It's all hotting up. If we can get to Angmar before they really get any reinforcements to Goblin Town, I think we might be all right. But it's just how well is our army in the north going to do now? That's the question. Fastred needs to keep the momentum going. If we can get Berserkul or Bjorn's Tomb quite quickly, then we can get back to Gundabad. Or, once again, Mount Gleowine, as it should properly be called, and see how we do. Erebor do have the Grey Foothills, but the Withered Heath is held by Gundabad, so it's a bit up in the air. It's disappointing to know that Dulgeldor do have Leofric's Bowing, but we'll send Radagast over as a spy for now. And our actual spy is going to go to Dulgeldor and tell us what he can about that. The army in Dorlingvad, I think, is going to have to stay there for now until the Dwindberg army can be trained, and indeed until at least Goblin Town is held. And then we can try and supplement that army with more troops and take Dulgeldor. But until then, and until we speak again, Nevar na den Perimad Melonin, and farewell.